Hey everybody, it's Deplorable Bobby, and this is how I see it. But I want to take just a minute, and I want to thank you again for subscribing to this channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're not a subscriber, then I would ask you to go down to the link below and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, and you'll get notified of all my videos. But we're going to get started here, and I just want people to understand I'm trying to do a little better as we go through this. This is a work in progress. This is a new channel. It's only about 10 days old, and thanks to Net4Truth TV, Net4 Truth USA, Dave gave me a big boost. He gave me a shout out, and he gave me a spot on his channel, and I'm forever grateful for that. But tonight we're going to put in some of the stuff that you hear about in the news, but unless you are one of those that researches this stuff, and I have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm able to I come across a topic that interests me, or I think about interest you. I can spend 4 hours out of the morning or the afternoon doing the research, and then write it up and try to give something that's condensed but yet tells the whole picture, and so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put stuff out there for people who don't have the time that I have to do this kind of stuff. So we're going to talk tonight a little bit about the 4 pillars of the Green New Deal. I found this information. I was looking up the freshman congressmen, women that all wore white. I was going to try and do a video on that, and I was researching them. And of course, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was the first person I started researching on, and this Green New Deal just was popping up everywhere. So I thought, I've heard of it. I haven't paid any attention to it. I just thought it was some bull crap that was coming from the far left and the socialist side of the Democratic Party, and I was right. So here we go. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you some tidbits on what this thing's all about, and to start the whole thing off. As of now, we don't just have a Bill of Rights in our Constitution. They want to implement an economic Bill of Rights into our Constitution, and it's right to employment through a full employment program. Nationally funded, of course. Employment offices, you'll never see unemployment offices anymore. They will be employment offices. You got to change that name. You got to change the name, and that's going to put people to work. All right, so then you have to unemployment in America forever and guarantee a job to every American that is willing to work. Okay, I'll go along with that. Well, what if you're not willing to work? Well, what happens then? Well, I'll tell you what happens then. You get free shit. That's just the way it works. We have workers' rights in this bill. It's a right to a living wage, safe workplace, fair trade. I'm not really sure what that fair trade's all about when it comes to a worker. I just don't know what they're talking about there. And they're allowed to organize unions. Okay, well, I was in a union one time for about 5 or 6 years. I hated it. Literally hated it. I'll tell you what happened with that union. I was in the Glazers union. I did high-rise glass for a lot of years. And they sent me a memo, or, a thing in my check. Told me that we were having a mandatory barbecue on one Saturday afternoon. But I've been to a lot of barbecues in the union, and I've never seen one mandatory. And so I called up my business agent, and I asked him, I said, hey, man, I said, what's with this mandatory barbecue thing? And he says, oh, we're having an Al Gore rally, and everybody has to attend. I said, like hell, I'm not coming. He said, if you don't come, you'll be blackballed. I said, you're going to kick me out of the union because I'm not going to come to an Al Gore rally. This was years ago. And he said, that's exactly right. So I told him, I said, guess what? You don't have to blackball me. I'm out. I quit. I left. And I'm not going to be dictated to or told by anybody who I have to vote for or support, and I damn sure wouldn't go to a Pelosi rally or a Kamala Harris rally or any of these other rallies by any of these damn Democrats, and ain't nobody gonna make me do it. So, okay, enough of that rant. All right, so we had the workers' rights. Now you have the right to quality health care. It's a right, y'all, through a single-payer program, which is Medicare for all. Well, she's sitting there talking like Medicare's free. Well, Medicare ain't free. I'm on Medicare, and I'm going to tell you, people, they pay 80%, you pay 20%. 20% is a hell of a big deductible. But not only that, they take, I think it was 110 last year they took out of my check, and this year it jumped up to like 128, something like that every month. They take out of my Social Security for Medicare. So it ain't free, people. I could use that $100 somewhere else. You can bet on that. If it was free, give me my money back. Anyway. And then we go to the young people who are going to all be into this shit. We're going to have a right to free tuition, quality education, federally funded, local. It's going to be centralized through the public school system. From preschool through college, all student loans are forgiven. Hey, people, take those $30,000 student loans and just don't pay them no more. It says we have the right to decent, affordable housing. Well, who decides what's decent? Because I'm going to tell you, people, I have a big idea of what's decent. And to be decent, it has to be better than good. You know, I mean, to me. If I can't have something good, so if the next step down is decent, well, I don't want decent. You know, I want good. But actually, I think what they're trying to say is here is good housing. Because I don't think any of those people that would ever, support this bill would even know what decent means. I mean, you have to have a heart, to know what decency is. You have to be a person that has feelings, not like the Democrats. All foreclosures and evictions will be halted. That means if your house is being foreclosed on, you get to stay there. All evictions are halted. Come on, people. So where are you going to live there free from now on? This poor old guy's got this house with a bunch of squatters in it. He can't get out. That's what she's wanting, people. She's wanting you to give people your rental house is free. She's wanting everything free. All right, here's the deal. They want to create a new federal bank to take over the distressed mortgages that are going on right now. If occupants can't afford the new mortgage, then they will be allowed to rent the home, no matter what the homeowner thinks. It will be mandated by the government that they will let these people live in this house, and those people will pay no more than what they can afford. No more than 25% of their income can be charged for rent. How about that, people? So if they make $2,000, a year, a month, so what? You got a $1,100 rental house and you're getting $500 a month? That makes no sense to me. The mortgage is more than that you're trying to pay with the rent. Oh, I forgot. The mortgages are going to be forgiven. Damn it. This is getting complicated. All right. You have the right to heat, electric, phone, internet, and all public transportations. All operating costs at no profit. So they're saying that we're going to have to use public transit, get rid of our cars, and it's all going to be to the point to where it's at cost. That means that the public transit isn't allowed to make any money. They have to just charge enough to pay the bills. All right, now, why would you even want to be involved in that kind of shit if you can't make money? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop people who have money, who invest money, to stop investing money and to stop making money. It makes no sense, people. All right, you have a right to a fair fair tax based on the ability to pay. And they're going to remove all corporate tax breaks. They want the corporations to pay their fair share. And then you have the green transition. You must invest in green businesses and co-ops with emphasis on small local companies, keeping down all large investors so that there will be no large corporations anymore. Everything will be localized within the state, county, and city, and it's all taken from there. So every state's probably going to have different laws and do different things. But the thing is to keep down the large investors. That's their main goal. Excuse me. Let's see. We're going to research instead of having redirecting money from fossil fuel. That's their big thing. We got to get rid of fossil fuel, and they want to take all the monies that's going toward fossil fuel and the fossil fuel industries, and they want to turn it to wind and solar and geothermal, if you can believe that, and invest in non-toxic materials. They want to close all loopholes, which I'm not too bad on closing some loopholes for these corporations, but they claim that it eliminates waste and pollution. So we'll see how closing loopholes can do that. But then you got the green jobs and retrofitting all our mass transit. We're going to have what they call complete streets. That means you can't drive a car down the street, but you can walk down the street or ride your bicycle down the street. We will have bicycle lanes now where the vehicle lanes used to be, because your vehicles are going to be, for lack of a better word, they're going to be censored. They're going to be censored on our roads. They're probably going to be kept down to a minimum. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't outlaw all fossil fuel cars and make everybody go electric. I don't know how that works, but that's part of the green thing. We got to have electric cars. No more pollution, and all because of this global warming thing. They think. Oh my God! They're still preaching that Al Gore stuff. Global warming. Well, let me tell you something. It was colder than hell here the other day. I don't know how it was that cold, but it was cold everywhere, wasn't it? All right. Then we're going to do the real financial reform. They're going to relieve debt by reducing homeowner and student loans. Democrats' money nationalized the Fed and replace it with a monetary authority within the Treasury. Now, I'm going to try and do that again. Democratize? I can't remember how. I don't know how you say that damn word. Anyway, they want to make the money democratic nationally. Whoops, there's that national word. Now, I thought they hated nationalists. I thought Trump was a nationalist. But here they are. They have it in their whole plan. Democratic money will be nationalized in the Fed and be placed under a monetary authority within the Treasury. They plan to break up all the big banks. Siemens, all these guys. I ain't got time to be thinking about them. They're going to break up all the banks, all the big banks. J.P. Morgan and all of them. They want to break them up. Then they want to take their money that they took from them and they want to distribute it out across America to the less fortunate. They want to end tax-funded bailouts. Failed banks are going to be taken over. Their assets will be auctioned off, and there will be a federal bank in its place when it reopens. It will be a federal bank. So any bank that closes will reopen, but it will be a federal bank. That's how they're going to do it. They're going to make the little banks fall and work their way on up to, Wells Fargo, SunTrust, and all these people. They want to regulate all financial derivatives and require let them be traded on the open market. Why? Require that all derivatives from all financial institutions be put back into the stock market. Okay. 90% of bonuses for bailed out bankers will be no more, which I agree with that. I don't think if you run a failed bank and you just defaulted on a whole bunch of money and hurt a whole lot of people across this country by bailing out, why should you get a $10 million bonus that year? Why didn't you put that toward the other shit, the poor people you done ripped off? Makes no sense, people. Makes no sense. And all federal, state, and local banks will be made non-profit, just like your transit system and everything else is to be non-profit. That means it can't be taxed. It's non-profit. Then they want to have a functioning democracy. They want to revoke the corporations. They want to re-amend the Constitution. She said that corporations are not people and money is not speech. I really didn't know that, the corporations had a personhood embedded in the Constitution. I didn't know that a company could be a person. I didn't know that money could be speech. But evidently it's somewhere in the Constitution, probably in some amendment somewhere written by a damn Democrat. Now they want to repeal it, which I'll go along with that. Money ain't speech. So they want to support Jesse Jackson Jr. and the right to vote amendment. Listen, people, if you're an American citizen, you have the right to vote. Why do we have a civil rights leader's son putting out this amendment for the right to vote? Come on, people. All 50 states, you have the right to vote if you're an American citizen. So what is it? They don't want you to be an American citizen, so they want them to vote. I know where it's going here. Let's see, they want paper ballots for voting. All votes counted before any release of any information on the election. It will all be overseen by a nonpartisan elected commissioner. Now, there you go. You tell me in this country today where you're going to find a Democrat or a Republican that's not partisan. Well, Jeff Flake, but he's gone, thank God. And we get another Jeff Flake in there, we'll just have to try to keep him down is all I know to do. That Jeff Flake was a joke, just like his John McCain. No name. I shouldn't even said that. I'll probably get banned for saying his name. Yeah, he was suicided. Anyway, election day will be a holiday. Now these are laws, people. They want to end the Electoral College. They want to go one person, one vote. Well, I don't really have a problem with that, except it can't be done in America. We are so spread out across the country. We have New York and California that have so many votes, and Texas. These certain states, they have so many votes because there's so many people there. Well, you take the state of New York, and you let those people vote just in the city alone, and you just nullified about half of the Midwest. So we have to have an electoral college. We all have to be represented equally. If we went by a popular vote, New York and Los Angeles and the surrounding areas would elect all of our officials. That's where all the people live. They don't think about our farmers, and our ranchers and these people that live out in the barren areas, and they're the lifeblood of this country. The farmers, my God, they feed us. The ranchers, they feed us with their meat. I mean, come on. We got to stop this stuff, people. We got to stop it. It's just sickening. And then they want all campaigns to be equal, and they want all of them to have equal fair time, playtime on TV. And it's got to be free. So you have to have equal free playtime for each candidate. Well, that's what they say, but you know how the mainstream media works. They'll slide a couple of extra commercials in here on that. And they want D.C. to be made a state. Y'all tell me why it ain't been a state ever. Why does it have to be now? They want to repeal the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authority Act. Now, how many of y'all go along with that? They want to prohibit DHS and FBI from working with local authorities and end the war on immigration. They say that we have a war against immigrants, that America is at war with these poor, innocent refugees, that they're not. Wish they'd stop preaching that refugee stuff, and just be honest. They're a horde. It's like the Mongol horde, except they're not riding horses. They're riding trains and buses and flatbed trucks and getting bused to the damn border instead of walking. Anyway, that's another story. They want to reduce our military by 50% and close all bases around the world. Did you hear that, people? Reduce our military by 50%. And then they want to bring all our soldiers home after we've reduced it 50%. Close all military bases worldwide. The National Guard will be the only military, and they will defend the United States. All nukes will be destroyed. America will not have any nukes. All right, now, that's it. That's what that stuff is. That is what the Green New Deal. It ain't the New Green Deal. It's the Green New Deal. They were very adamant about making sure that you said it that way. But I want to get back to the good news. Here's a little bit. Well, it's good and bad. But there's a couple of stories in here that are upbeat, but the rest of them, of course, they're all sad because they're all about the children. But the good news in the pedophilia world. We had a pedo's throat cut after abusing a 6-year-old. Christopher McMahon killed his friend David Potter after Potter admitted to him that he had committed child abuse and that he continued to do it on a regular basis. Well, McMahon took it upon himself to slice this guy's throat and stab him viciously around the neck and chest. And he killed this guy. But he claims it wasn't murder. He claims it wasn't murder. He said, yeah, I stabbed him. I killed him. It wasn't murder, though. It was justice. He's going to be prosecuted, but he claims not murder, but justice. And I say amen. Then you had a HIV-positive coach admit sexually abusing students and filming child porn at the school. Come on, people. Carlos Bell abused boys between the age of 11 and 17. He had 42 victims in his porn library. He had 42 different sexual assaults on video in his porn library, and they have identified 28 of these children. Thank God they identified that many. It's a miracle they can identify any of them because they disappear so fast. Anyway, he's going to be sentenced on March 28th. Prosecutors are asking for 190 years. It's about 100 years too little, I think. Then you got a double whammy. Adam Parkin stabbed his wife to death, which is a crime in itself. Never mind that he killed her because she discovered his porn videos on their computer and confronted him about it, so he killed her. So he's not just a pedophile, he's also a murderer. So he gets a double whammy tonight. All right, folks, that's about it. I went a little longer than I intended to. I hope you like the little video I put back here behind me. It's better than a crock pot. That's what's set there for the first 10 videos. So tried to add a little something different. Dave from Net for Truth USA sent me a couple of links that I've downloaded, but to me they're pretty complicated. So I'm having to do the tutorials, and hopefully it won't be long. I can put my face down here in this little bitty corner, and I can actually show you these documents and pictures and things that I'm talking about. So just hang with me, folks. It's getting better. It's going to get better all the time. I want to thank you for watching. And once again, we have to remember the children. Keep them in your prayers. They're disappearing every day. I talked to a guy today, real quick. I talked to a guy today down at this local store I go to. And I was talking to him about videos. And I told him about the children and how many come missing every year. And he said, no way that many people come missing. I said, man, get with it. Get on the damn internet. Look it up. How many children disappear every year out of the United States? It's damn near 1,800,000. Okay, come on, people. They don't walk away and just fall into the abyss. Somebody knows where they are or where they were. I'd venture to say, with a very heavy heart, many, 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 many of them never had a chance to even have a life. And the ones that do live, oh my God, what kind of pitiful, sorry life do they have to look forward to, with the memories that they'll carry forever of such abuse and cruelty. People, it's beyond imagination. It's beyond imagination what these people are doing to our kids. So let's remember, keep our kids in prayer. We're going to arrest them one by one. Maybe we'll get 20 at one time, but maybe we'll get one at one time. But every damn one that's off the street is a blessing. Something to be praised. Get them all off the street, one at a time, if that's the way it has to be. But it's happening all over the world, so it may be one at a time, but you've got different municipalities and different police departments across the nation and across the country. And they're all doing these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people arrest, and those add up. We're going to get rid of these low-level people. We're going to get rid of these, for lack of a better word, pedophile wannabe, because all they're doing are abusing children. So far, the ones that have been arrested anyway. We haven't gotten into the pedivores. We haven't gotten into the child sacrifice. That's coming, people. It's coming. Sit tight and wait. It's only a couple of days now to the 15th. Don't know what Trump's going to do. I'm looking forward to finding out. I'd be happy with anything from martial law to arresting all the elite in Hollywood and D.C. I'd be happy with any of it. But then again, I'm going to be happy with anything he says, because I believe he's doing what we need in a country, to be a country and to be patriots. I'm a nationalist, so I love this country. I served in the military for this country, and I gave an oath back then that I would defend this country against all enemies, domestic and foreign. But I've never been relieved of that oath, just like Dave from Net for Truth USA. He said, I've heard him say that. He's never been released from his oath. We'll stand strong. We'll stand side by side. We'll stand shoulder to shoulder and chest to chest and defend this nation and defend our children. So people, y'all have a good night. I thank you for listening. And the videos are just going to get better. I pray. And y'all pray. Y'all pray for this channel that I'll do something good. That's all I want to do. I just want to do something good. So people, we'll see you next time. And this is Deplorable Bobby, and that's the way I see it.